You know that image of a hacker, right? Hooded figure, dark room, lines of glowing green text scrolling by. But let's get real for a second. What operating system are they actually using? We're going to dive into that because the reality is way more interesting than what you see in the movies.
So, is there some secret, all-powerful hacking OS that's like a master key to the digital world? The short answer? Nope, not at all. The truth is, the tool always depends on the mission. It's not about one single piece of software. It's about a whole ecosystem of highly specialized systems. The best way to think about it is on a spectrum. On one end, you've got your digital lockpicks. These are tools built specifically to test, probe, and, well, break into systems. But on the complete other end, you have these impenetrable digital vaults, designed from the ground up for ultimate defense and anonymity. And today, we're going to take a journey across that entire spectrum. All right, let's start on the offensive side of things. We're talking about the tools that are designed to be the tip of the spear, the operating systems built for actively finding and exploiting weaknesses. If you've heard of any system on this list, it's probably this one. Kali Linux is, without a doubt, the industry standard for what's called penetration testing or pen testing. It's maintained by the folks at Offensive Security, and it is the absolute go-to for ethical hackers all over the world. So, what makes Kali the king? Well, right out of the box, it comes preloaded with over 600 specialized tools. I mean, we're talking about everything from network sniffers like Wireshark to the legendary Metasploit framework for crafting exploits. It's basically a curated arsenal ready for battle. And check this out. This is one of my favorite features because it's so clever. Undercover mode. With just one command, your entire Linux desktop instantly transforms to look exactly like a standard Windows 10 or 11 desktop. So you could be sitting in a coffee shop running some seriously advanced network scans. And to anyone who glances at your screen, it just looks like you're messing with an Excel sheet. Genius. 600 tools is a ton. But, what if it's not enough? What if you're a security researcher and you need access to literally every tool imaginable the very second it comes out? And that's where BlackArch Linux comes into the picture. If Kali is a finely curated arsenal, BlackArch is the entire military warehouse. It has a repository of over 2,800 tools. Yeah, this is built for the absolute power user who looks at Kali's massive toolkit and still thinks, I need more. This chart here really breaks down the difference. Kali is for your professional pen tester who needs a stable, reliable, curated set of tools that just work. BlackArch, on the other hand, is for the researcher. It's got a rolling release model, which means you get the absolute newest, most bleeding-edge tools instantly. The catch? It takes a much deeper level of Linux knowledge to keep it running smoothly. Okay, so we've got the specialist's scalpel with Kali and the massive, exhaustive research library with BlackArch. But both of those are pretty specialized. What if your job isn't just one thing? What if you need to blend offense, defense, and just normal everyday work, all in one machine?
And that brings us to Parrot Security OS. The best way to think of this one is as the security professional's daily driver. This is the system you can actually use for your day-to-day work, coding, writing reports, but you've still got that powerful security toolkit right there when you need it. So what makes Parrot stand out? Well, for one, it's generally lighter on system resources than Kali, so it runs great even on older computers. But its main selling point is that blend of tools. It doesn't just have pen testing software. It also comes with development and privacy tools. One of its killer features is Anonysurf, which lets you route your entire computer's internet traffic through the Tor anonymity network with literally a single click. Okay, let's do a complete 180 now. We're moving away from the offensive tip of the spear and going all the way to the other end of the spectrum, building an unbreachable digital fortress. The goal here isn't to break into other systems, it's to make your own system impossible to compromise. Now, before we look at our next OS, we have to understand this one crucial concept: security by compartmentalization. The idea is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. You basically isolate different parts of your digital life into separate sealed-off boxes. That way, if some malware gets into one box, it's trapped. It can't spread to any of the others. And the operating system that takes this idea to its absolute extreme is Qubes OS. And hey, don't just take my word for how secure it is. It's famously endorsed by Edward Snowden. And that really means something. When the guy who exposed global surveillance says a tool is secure, the entire security community pays attention.
So here's how it works. In Cube's OS, everything, and I mean everything you do, runs in its own isolated virtual machine called a cube. So imagine you have a work cube for your job stuff and a separate banking cube. If you accidentally open a malicious PDF in your work cube, that malware is completely trapped. It has absolutely no way of seeing or touching what's happening in your super secure banking cube. It's digital quarantine built into the very core of the system. Compartmentalization is amazing for security, but it's all still happening on your computer's hard drive. But what if your mission requires you to be a ghost? What if you need to use a computer and leave behind absolutely zero trace that you were ever there? For that, there is Tails. It stands for the Amnesic Incognito Live System, and that word amnesic is key. It's designed to have amnesia, to forget everything. You boot it from a USB stick, and it runs entirely in the computer's temporary RAM. It forces all your internet traffic through the Tor network, making you anonymous. Then, when you're done, you just unplug the USB, and poof, it's as if you were never there. This is the OS of choice for journalists and activists working in high-risk places where getting caught could have life-or-death consequences. So, we've gone from the all-out attack platforms all the way to the ultimate defensive fortresses. And it all comes back to one single question. What is your mission? Because at the end of the day, the mission is what defines the tool you need. This summary table here just puts it all together in one place. If your mission is offensive pen testing, you want Kali. If you need every single offensive tool under the sun, that's Black Arch. Need a versatile daily driver that's secure? Parrot OS. Want to build a digital fortress through isolation? Cubes. Or do you need to be a digital ghost that leaves no trace? That's Tails. Each one is a master of its own specific domain. So you see, that Hollywood stereotype of a single Harker OS is totally a myth. The reality is a rich, fascinating, and highly specialized ecosystem of tools, each one perfectly honed for a specific purpose on that spectrum from offense to defense. So the real question isn't what's the best hacking OS, it's what's your mission? Now that you know what's out there, which tool will you explore first?
Now that we've explained all the different distros for hacking, this is number one, which is Kali, which was on the list. This is what the interface looks like. If you come down here, you can open this up, and here's all your different tools that you have for doing your penetration work. It has tons and tons of tools in each category for doing different things, as you can see. It's a very well used system and very well liked system for a lot of people. This is what Kali is, and this is what it looks like. It looks like a regular operating system by any other means, but people don't know that it's also a penetrating system. And you can also put in a lot of your other programs that you can use to do everyday work, plus use this as you're digging into the security of your system. But this is Kali Linux. The next distro up on the list is Black Arch. This is the interface and what Black Arch looks like when it first starts up. If you click anywhere in the screen here, you have then the different boxes that open up. It gives you different terminals in different colors, so you know which terminal you're in. You have your browsers, which is Firefox and Chrome. You have your network where you can read your Wi-Fi information. And here's all your different auditing programs that you have available under Black Arch. And then you have your main configurations information here, where you can set it up for however you like it to be. And this would be what Black Arch looks like. Next up on the list of distros, this is Parrot OS. This is, again, probably the simplest and easiest one to use for beginners to do hacking. This one is the middle of the list, and it gives you a nice interface again with all the different programs available here, easy to get to. It gives you all the different options. This actually acts like a regular OS system, but it gives you all the penetration information, and so you can be offensive or defensive. And it gives you lots of programs available to do your work. And this is, again, Parrot OS. This is Tails OS, which comes on a thumb drive, which you can use to put into your machine, and you can run it so that nobody knows that you are doing hacking with the Tails OS. And this is the features that it has, where it's got all the different stuff that the other ones do, but it's on a thumb drive that you can bring in, stick it in, do your work, and then take it back out when you're done. And it has different menus, options available on it, and the system is similar to Parrot OS or Kali OS. And this is Tails. And Tails is the one that, like, journalists and other people who don't want to be known for some of their stuff that they do, it keeps it hidden and in their pockets. That's all there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Cubics to work because of the fact that it's a virtual machine itself, and it doesn't work in a virtual machine environment. I tried to put it on a hard drive on my laptop, and it still didn't want to work right. So unfortunately, I don't have a copy of the Cubics version of the spyware. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like and hit subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you very much, and have a good week.